So as you look at your research and you look at the ability to now having looked back on it for 30 years, what do you think people have gotten right and gotten wrong having the ability to look at your research over all these years?
Well, I think the thing I struggle with most is convincing people that even though there is a 4%, 4.7% rule, it's not necessarily your first and best choice. In fact, I wouldn't start with it at all. It's only for the most ultra conservative folks to use. I would go through the analysis that I recommend in my book, looking at all your personal factors, and then looking at stock market valuation, inflation, and come out with a number which represents what's actually happened historically. So you have some kind of a precedent to rely on. And I think you'd be pleasantly surprised. A 5.5% withdrawal rate is a lot lower than historical average, but it's still much better than 4.7% in terms of dollars. 20% more spending. That says a lot in retirement.
And so you're recommending what I thought you would say, and the fact that the average person doesn't have to use a rule of thumb. They can actually meet with a financial advisor and get a financial plan done, and it's going
I
to
think
take
they should.
and it's going
No
to take
question.
into account all of the factors and the eight elements that are relevant to them. But it is still nice to have a rule of thumb to kind of balance that actual plan against.
Yeah, and I want to say one more thing about the rule of thumb. It's not like Newton's three laws of motions, which are probably going to be the same 2 million years from now as they are today. It could change. I mean, if you look at that withdrawal rate, 4.7%, that was higher in the past. Back in the 1930s, that was around 5.5%. It's come down gradually to 1968, and it's been 56 years since it's changed. That's the longest period of time we've been able to stay with it. It doesn't mean that it won't come down in the future. If we run into a terrible period of high inflation, which is my great worry, might have to revise that downward as a new worst case scenario.
What do you think it is about rule of thumbs that people like so much? I mean, I find even after we've run a financial plan, the financial plan is 70 pages. We've made these
Yeah.
beautiful recommendations. People will say, well, it's still around the 4% rule. What do you think? They love coming back to a rule of thumb. But what is it about rule of thumbs that people just love so much?
I don't think we human beings are wired to deal with complexity. I think it just wears us out. And we're constantly therefore searching for simple rules, simple guidelines that we can act upon without thinking too much. And that's the way, evolution perhaps or our background has formed us. And we're probably not going to change much anytime soon.
Right. I think you're right. I think it is. I think there's so much information coming at people that people
Oh,
just love the simplicity of a rule of thumb, which is probably why people love your rule so much.
yeah, and
And
maybe too much.
right, right.
I
Uh,
can't fight City
yeah,
Hall.
yeah.